All right, guys, so we're about ready to start painting some of the black stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and do black first. It says this one's gonna dry a lot faster. I'm using this Magic spray enamel. This is gonna be a gloss black, so we'll go ahead and get that going, and I'll show you guys a couple ways that I do this. Not sure if it's the right way, but I know it's not the wrong way. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get to it. All right, so on this can, I like the directions on this can. It says, use steady, even strokes while spraying. Several thin coats will result in a better finish than one heavy coat. And that's what I live by. Do small, light coats. And what I mean by small is, I don't know if you guys have ever primed anything, but what you'll do is, let's go ahead and just spray this first, just to get the anything out. So what I'm gonna end up doing is, hopefully I can get it in camera. We'll just do, I don't know if you guys can see that, there's just a little bit of paint on there now. And then I'm gonna let that kind of get tacky. And I'm gonna do that to all these. Hopefully we can get that to stick. You're not trying to like coat it right now, you're just trying to get to where the paint can kind of stick. And see, I'm not going too heavy at all. I'm just doing little guys right now. We're using the enamel as like a primer. Here's one of the main pieces. Again, we're not trying to, douse it. You'll see, just trying to get some of these edges now, just to that I wasn't able to get earlier. Okay, so I don't know. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that. We got a little bit of black on most of these parts. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes. And then what I'll usually do is the part that I first started with, I'll just use that as my gauge. And that's actually it's already dry. So that's where I started, is where I'm gonna go ahead and continue to go and paint. Yeah, it's already dry. So we're gonna go ahead and keep going. Okay, so let's get just a little bit more. You don't want to go, again, you don't want to go too heavy. I actually let these sit out here for about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Get them nice and warm, because it's a little bit colder of a day, but luckily we have some sun. Okay, and then you'll see it's still not fully coated. Some of them look almost done, but we're gonna go ahead and again let that get tacky, and then we'll spray just a little bit right there, looks about the same coat, and then we'll come back here in about 5 minutes and we'll touch everything, and we'll see if we can go ahead and do one more coat. Usually with enamel, you could respray within an hour. If you wait any longer than an hour, you're gonna have to wait 24 hours to recoat. So we'll wait 5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and redo it one more coat, and then we'll go as many as we need to until I feel it's good, because we definitely don't want to recoat after 24 hours. A lot of the times when you do that, you get like those spider cracks, and we don't like those. All right, so we're back. It's only been a couple minutes, and where I sprayed, it's already dry. So you can assume that, yeah, these are already, they're still tacky, but they're still good. I don't see any paint. So we're gonna go ahead and do one more coat, and then we'll continue to do this until, again, I feel pretty satisfied. You can still see some of the gray in there. And again, we're just gonna keep going until we're satisfied. So I won't record any more of me painting, but I will record when I'm done, and then I'll let you guys know how many actual lighter coats that I actually did. So tune in. All right, so our black, our black is nice and painted. You can see the gloss on a good amount of it. I might need to recoat some of that, but I think it looks okay. I put about 5 smaller coats on it. And you can actually see what 5 small coats will do. It starts to get pretty shiny. Yeah, we'll go ahead and call this done. We'll wait for it to dry. I'm gonna let it sit in the sun for a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and set it inside and let it dry for about 24 hours. So I didn't record any of the yellow, but what I'm doing here is I'm painting the back sides first, and then I'm gonna flip them over and finish it off. But this is what we're looking at so far. Small, thin coats, and it's looking pretty good. This one, I'm on my 4th coat now, and like I said, I'm gonna flip them over now and then go ahead and start to paint the other side. But we're looking pretty good. Morning, guys. We're gonna go ahead and continue the build video now. We got everything painted, and pretty excited the way it came out. Some parts a little iffy, but I think it came out pretty clean. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we did. Okay, so here's the main chassis. Looks really good. Couple little discrepancies, but I'm not too worried. The tracks will cover most of that, so I think we're okay. Unfortunately, I ran out of paint yesterday. I went through 3 cans of this yellow. Most of the parts came out really nice, and the other ones are up over there behind that excavator. So we're gonna go ahead and continue with building the cab. It's gonna be another tedious portion, but let's go ahead and get going on it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with getting our tracks together. So let's go ahead and get this set up. Take our tape off here. I'm gonna stick my finger inside this hole so I don't get this paint messed up. Take our M3 by 12 millimeter. Take our idle roller arm. I'm going to slide it in. We'll line it up. We'll go ahead and start to get our pin in. You'll know if you're lined up if it goes all the way in. And then because of the paint, we're gonna play with this a little bit. Oh no. Make sure the centerpiece stays in place. Seems really tight. I'm probably gonna adjust these, sand some of these down. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll probably take off a half mil on the inside here. That way there's a little bit more of a gap for you guys, because I'm not really liking how these are moving right now. Not at all. Like, this is so stiff. That kind of sucks. I'm gonna take my file here. I'm actually gonna file down some of this edge right here. I can feel the rough on it. And I'm gonna file it down until it feels real nice and smooth now. And then yeah, you can feel the roughness on this side. I'm not too sure if I need to mess around in here. Okay, so it's inside of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab. much better. That should move under its own weight for sure. So I'll take this other one. Oh wait, I need to clean that one off still. Oh yeah. Clean these guys up. Day. This one still feels a little rough, so I'm just going to kind of clean it up a little more. Excuse me. All right, there's that. And you want that to be able to move nice and neat. This middle one, a little rough still, but we're gonna go ahead and just let it run. And yeah, those run real nice. So let's go ahead and get our tensioner set up. Oh, goodness. Guess we could do some of these other ones. We're actually going to do our upper roller, excuse me. You know what? I could see there's a difference between this one and this one over here. So this one has a wider, I must have not reprinted this, but I made this bigger so it won't break or start to split. You can see the split here and there. So I'm gonna go ahead and use these M2x8s for this one. Alright, go and get our spring installed. Okay. Alright, so I wanted to take this off and not use it, but I think we're going to use it as yellow. And I'll probably replace this later, but for this build video, I'm gonna leave it like this. I also don't wanna ruin these, the colors of these screws here. So let's insert our dowels. And I'll start to just slightly push them in. And then what I'll do is I'll come to this edge here and I'll start to really push. And best case scenario, or worst case, I guess, just grab one of these. hear it bottom out. That looks pretty good to me. We'll go ahead and get these started, and there you go. Works great. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and get our bearings installed for, so we can get this mounted. So we'll go ahead and get going on that. So with these bearings, you're gonna be using these 5mm thrust bearings. And you can see here, I already have one. It actually got painted. I don't know why I didn't see that before. And we definitely don't want to use this, so we're gonna end up getting another one. And then we'll clean that one off later on. You're gonna want to install this first, and you'll notice that there's a groove right here, right on one side, and the other side's flat. You want the flat side to go down and the groove to face up for this one. And then you're gonna stick the bearing, the balls for it next. See a little straggler here. All right. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our groove down onto the balls. And that's that. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. Alright, probably would have been better to do this other side first, because then you can get the bolt in there. But not to worry. Let me just make sure. There's actually a race in here, I can see it. I don't see any paint, so we're gonna go ahead and run it. So we'll drop our bearing, and then we're gonna drop it, then we're groove down towards the balls. Oh, that didn't work. Alright. Then we'll go ahead and take our M5 by 60 mil. We'll get the head in there. Beauty. That's what you want to see right there. I'm just checking to make sure that I have the bearings in there correctly. All right. So this is complete as far as the track. So we'll go ahead and get this other side done, and then we'll go ahead and start to mount it. Or actually, I'll probably do that off camera. Let me go ahead and throw this on now. Okay, so for this you'll need that M5 bolt, and then you'll need an M4 by 20. Excuse me, we're not going to use those. My apologies. We are using our handy dandy M3 shoulder bolt. And this one, I believe, is for this guy. Yes, sir. So you're gonna need 2 of these shoulder bolts, and these are M3 by these are M3 by 25 mil. All right, so another thing you want to make sure is, because we painted this part, we want to make sure that that our 4mm will fit through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my 4mm drill bit. All right, we'll make sure that this is 4, so this is 4.0, so that's what we want. And you can always check these too. This is actually 3.8, 3.9. Look at that. Some 4.0 might be a little too big, so let's go ahead and see if we can find that other one. I believe that's going to be a clearance hole for a M4 bolt. 5. Here's a 3.9. Let's try that one first. 3.8. So that looks like the clearance hole we want. I'm gonna leave this 4 mil aside for right now. Take the tensioner out just so I don't mess it up. Then we'll test it. So let's see if we can get this to slide in now. Yep. A little rough though. So then I'm just gonna hit it one more time. Excuse me. I can live with that. That feels pretty good now. Okay. Let's just get, you can leave this tensioner off too while you do this. You can always get this on first if you wanted to. All right, that's it. All right, so you're gonna tighten that until it gets nice and snug, and then you're gonna be hitting a lock nut, so you might have to kind of, it might get a little tighter. Just keep going until you can barely spin it, and then what you wanna do is just test this and just make sure that this moves freely. So let's go ahead and get our shoulder bolt in. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Got that in. And we're gonna go ahead and get our M3 lock nut. Excuse me. For this one, we'll probably flip it upside down. Now it doesn't have to be too tight. You just need it to sit snug, because that bearing will do the rest of the work for you. So you shouldn't have any wobble. No wobble at all. Looks great. Exactly what we want. Flip her back over. Ooh, that hurt. Okay, go ahead and get our tensioner back in, our spring tensioner. And that's that. Looks great. So I totally forgot to mention, you want to go ahead and get your ripper on first, because you're obviously not going to get in here. So I'm going to probably end up taking this back off and then doing it off camera to get this bolt in, but or doing the one bolt, and then I'll show you guys how to do this other bolt. With those, we're going to use our we're going to use the bigger guys. So these are going to be our M4 shoulder bolt. And you guys are probably wondering, why is it called an M4 if it's a 5mm shoulder? Well, let me explain something. All right. So the reason why it's called an M4 or an M3 shoulder bolt is you still have an M3 bolt here, and then you have an M4 shoulder. With the M4 shoulder bolt, you actually have an M4 threads, and then an M4, or excuse me, a 5mm shoulder. Perfect for these types of applications. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use these for back here for our ripper mount. Okay. And then just like we did before, we're just gonna go ahead and make sure that everything slides into place, and we won't need to drill it out. And with this, we're gonna drill it out. So we'll go ahead and measure it. So this one we got 4.9. So we're gonna look for a 5.0. So here's a 4.8. So keep that one to the side because we might end up having to use that. Might not have a better one. 4.9, 4.8-ish. So here's our 5.0. So we're gonna go ahead and take this 5.0 and we're gonna drill that out. Let's get it closer to this edge here. Like a glove. It's exactly how we want it to fit. Just slides right in there, like beautifully. I can't do it like that on the side, but let's go ahead and grab that ripper piece. That feels pretty stiff. I'm gonna go ahead and file it down just a little bit on the inside here. Wow, I went real heavy on the inside here. I'm gonna grab some real sandpaper. Some of this good stuff. Excuse me. Okay, so we got that one side in. I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, do this off camera. I'll probably get this side done as well. But that's how you want to go ahead and start getting your ripper in, and you'll notice that there's absolutely no play. Moves up and down relatively nice. I like it. So we'll be right back after I get this this bolt in, and then go ahead and finish off this side for the tracks. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is to get your M4 lock nuts and get those installed before you get these tracks done as well. So let's go ahead and get that done. There's our M4 lock nuts. Now this is going to be fun. I'm going to end up taking these two bolts back off and then lifting it up so I can go ahead and screw this off. I'll do that off camera. But you want to make sure before you get these track guides on that you get this bottom main ripper and then get these screwed in. That way you won't have to mess with this again. But again, I'll do this off camera. I'll take these two bolts off and then get these tightened down, and then we'll be right back.